Before we finish this chapter, I just wanted to mention one thing, and it's something we touched on very briefly, or rather kind of skipped over at the start of this chapter, and that was lazy loading components. Now, I'm not going to be using lazily loaded components in any of our projects, but I did want to mention it because in production, sometimes you might want to take this approach in order to minimize the overall bundle size of your production JavaScript. So we can do something called code splitting, whereby we only load in a component's JavaScript when we actually visit that route. And that's what we briefly saw when we first created a boilerplate Vue project with the Vue CLI, which included Vue routing. And it looked something like this. Instead of declaring the component right here and importing it, so we could comment that out right now, we could instead create a function which would fire when the user visited this route, and then that would import a specific component. In our case, it would be /views and then /about.vue. And then this right here, this JavaScript would only be loaded in when a user visits that route and not initially when they first come to your website. So it kind of reduces that initial loading time. Now, like I said, I'm not going to be doing this for our projects, but I wanted to let you know what it was for and what it did, and you should read more about it on the documentation. It's very well documented, and you can see all of the different steps to take right here, but it's pretty simple. So what I will do is leave this link attached to this lecture so you can go ahead and read more about it. But like I said, we're not really going to be doing that for our projects.